Hey everybody, Monty back playing another Life is Feudal 101 episode. In this episode I want to talk to you about the furnace and the bloomery, how to put ore in it, how to get it cooked up, and how to get your ingots, bars, and lumps using those two items. Now, I'm kind of out here in my little hut, so I'm going to also show you quickly before the sun goes down what it takes for each of these items. Now to start, you're going to go under your construction materials prep, and remember how we talked about the little trick of getting stone, sharpening that to up your materials. The other way is the very first thing that's unlocked at level 0 is the furnace. You don't have all this other extra goodness here. So the furnace, what you want to do is you can just place that anywhere, move it back and forth, from square to square, just like you can here. Rotate it, doesn't matter because it's just a nice little circle. So we're going to go ahead and build this. Then we're going to be able to take a look at what does it take to build your furnace. And then the bloomery takes a little bit more. That's an understatement. It takes a lot more to get the bloomery going, but the benefits are great. But we will cover both of those in this episode. To show off the bloomery, I'm going to have to go head over to the village on the other side of the water and kind of give you a sneak peek of the village we've been working on, plus also how the bloomery works, and give you some probably little previews of what we can talk about next episode. Still undecided after I talk about the ores and all that, where we want to go. So let's go to construction materials create. So we need 10 grass fibers, we need 100 clay, which unfortunately there's no clay on this island, and we need 5 water. That's really easy. You just go to the water, grab it, and come on back. And you guys remember how to make the grass fibers, right? Our favorite thing in the world. Click on the ground and go to Nature's Lore and gather plant fibers. So once you get those materials, you will finish up the furnace. So there you have it for what we need to do. Now the clay tip is hit your map. There you go, it took a little while. Hit the tab button so you can move your mouse around. Now, see, if I zoom in on the island and let that render in a little bit, I don't see any clay. Now, if you go over here, you're going to see a little sliver there, a little sliver there, a little something there, some bigger slivers over here, so this is nice over here, especially by that mountain. And let's see, down here, not much clay. So clay is definitely a limited resource. Most likely you will find people building by the clay. That's a real nice big flat area. This is usually where I used to build out. Maybe even the west coast would have been a nice place to build because then you get a little bit more of the sunlight at the end of the day. I will probably run over to this area for clay, dig some up, and use that for this furnace. But I am going to go ahead and head over and show you our village, so I will give you guys a pause when I head over there. The other thing I want to do, see, is if I go to construction, I want to see if I can go ahead and place, nope, see, my construction, all I have are some floor lamp, wine press, which isn't implemented yet, and the wattle fences. Now the wattle fences, I definitely suggest throwing some of these down, and maybe we'll throw these back here a little bit further away, because it will make it to where you can't do certain construction right next to it. So these little fences are good. See, you can rotate them side to side. There's also an option for the diagonal fence. You build these and they only take sticks to use. What was the problem there? Oh, I need the proper tool. I need a hammer for that action, and I actually have not built a hammer yet. So I'm going to get a hammer going so I can work on my construction and get that construction up a little bit, because I want to be able to build a bloomery, which the bloomery might be masonry, so I will get you that information shortly. I will see you on the other side of the lake over in the village and go ahead and show you how to make the ore, because you're going to want to get the furnace going off in the first place anyway before you get to the bloomery, because that's kind of after you get a few people or after you get settled a lot more, because then it comes down to your inventory space in those devices. Now the furnace can hold up to 100, and that's like basically 100 stone. And the bloomery, though, it can hold 400. The other benefit of the bloomery is that your bloomery jumps up to 2,000 degrees, where your furnace can only get to 1,500. So not only can you fit a lot more in the bloomery, but you can also cook everything up a lot faster. So the first thing you're going to want to try to cook up is basically whatever mineral you can find around you. Usually that's going to be copper or iron. Now copper burns up faster than iron. However, a lot of items will force you to actually use iron ingots and iron bars compared to what they call common bars or common materials. So if something asks for a common material, which I'll actually visually show you guys in a second, you could use any item. So you could use an iron bar, you could use a copper bar, you could use a gold bar if you want, but you wouldn't want to waste it on that. So I am going to give you guys a pause, probably let nighttime go by. I will collect up a lot of these materials and see you guys in the morning. Alright, I'm actually back. The sun hasn't gone down yet, but I saw somebody over in the town, over by the mine, and that's kind of where I wanted to grab some materials, so I'm going to kind of sneak through the village and show you guys what's going on. So here's an herbalist hut. Looks like it's already built up. This is a kiln. Now the kiln's going to be important to mold things and make clay pots and use the little potter's wheel. So we're going to need to actually learn how to use that probably next episode, because if you want to build your forge and anvil to build actually some of the weapons and better tools and all that stuff, you're going to have to get an anvil made. And the anvil requires a anvil mold, and it also requires 8 ingots that you have to throw in one of the furnaces to actually make an anvil before you can make that forge and anvil. Now, this is what the bloomery looks like. So there is a big bloomery over here. Now, I can't do anything with this object. However, I was hoping that I'd be able to at least look at it. Nope, I am not skilled enough to actually use that object to even show you guys what it is. Now, I might get the same message with the blacksmith over here. Yep, I cannot do anything with this object yet. Now, that's because my skill level is too low. I have no smelting skill, I have no forging skill, so I need to work on my mining skill. So before you can actually start using some of the better items, of course, you're going to be mining to actually get that ore to use in the furnace. So I'm still getting materials to actually make our furnace, but I'm going to hop in this mine real quick. It's going to get a little dark. I do suggest that when you go into the mine that you press the C button to get into your first person view. If not, it's a little wonky and you get weird little graphic views and it just doesn't look as good. So this mine has been dug really far down, and what you want to do is remember your little prospecting. So you can right click prospect and let's say prospect for copper. Now I want to say let's look within a radius of 10. So what this is going to do is look in all the different direction of, hey, within 10 squares is there copper? And I talked about this a little bit before, and it says you have detected traces of ore. So then you would want to go back and try it by 8. You'd want to walk this way and go, okay, no, over here it's 16 away. Over here it's 10 away. So I learned by, process of elimination that we needed to continue to go down this way. So now we actually hit water level underground. Now this right here is just rock. So I could dig a tunnel, but I can't do any mining. See, when I right click, just prospecting and terraforming. Now make sure that you've done enough prospecting that the mining is now unlocked with the little arrow and 0. So that means you can now mine. Now this stuff right here, see, it's got a nice little tint to it. This is your copper. You right click on it and it gives you that extra option to mine copper ore. I don't actually have a pickaxe on me yet. Alright guys, I'm back. This is 1 second later. Look at that, what I can do in 1 second. I actually got my pickaxe, so I'm going to throw that on place of the saw. I made a sickle. I have a crucible and stick. Now this is going to be important because once you cook up the ore, when you want to pull it out as ingots, you're going to actually use the crucible and stick to do that. So make sure you have this. I got a little knife. I did a little bit of raid on the kitchen and I found some fried beast. I found 4 charcoal. Now charcoal is an alternative to using billets. Now however, you have to have a kiln to burn up billets to make the charcoal. So that's a little bit of a skip ahead, but I wanted to at least have some on me so I could show you what it looks like to be aware. This right up here is actually some iron ore, but now that I have the pickaxe, I wanted to come down here, do some mining, and actually show you this is what it looks like. Very simple. You get your pickaxe equipped and you're going to mine copper ore. So now you can actually see my mining is increasing. So we have to get our mining increased to a higher level. So now we're at 39. So now we have unlocked smelting. But we want to continue to work on our mining, which you just naturally will by going and collecting more ore. This is your copper right here. So you've got your copper, we've got our iron, and we will be able to do like a little bit of a test to see how much faster does the copper really burn out compared to the iron when we put that in the furnace. So this should max us out on weight, if we're not already. Okay, see, I can't take that. You are overburdened. We're at 153 copper. We're at 21 iron. I have some water, I have a few grass fibers. I need to go get some more of those, and then I'm also going to need to go grab some clay. So I still have a little bit more work to do. It is still night, so I keep saying I will see you guys in the morning. So this time I'm going to say I will see you when I see you. Hold on tight. See, hey everybody, told you I'd be back before morning, and the one things I wanted to make sure that you remembered was to set your home and then claim it. So for example, you can see I'm kind of heading towards the clay right, whoa, sorry about that. I'm heading towards this clay right here, and you basically want to make that a one-way trip. So you want to be able to run somewhere or swim somewhere, grab the materials that you need, and then you can use the number 7 key, that house prayer option, to pray your way back home. That's going to save you at least one way of a trip. I dropped off all my other unnecessary materials, as you can see in my inventory. I just have a little bit of meat on me just to be safe. I'm going to grab as much clay as I can grab, head back to my house, drop it off, and then I should have enough to finish off the furnace. Once I start putting the materials in the furnace and I start building it, I will bring you guys right back, so see you then. Okay, well this is probably a poor choice because it is still nighttime, but I kind of wanted to do a nice little view of the forest and the moon, and you can see the nice island in the background. But as you can see, if I hit the M button, boom, right there, you can see that little clay slivers right in front of me. So I wanted to show you what it looked like. Even though it's nighttime, you'll get an idea. It's going to be these little crevices in the ground, and it just looks like it's filled with dirt. But you can definitely see the big difference between the sand down there in front of me and the clay right here. So to get the clay, you don't have to mine, you don't have to tunnel. All you have to do is make sure you right click, and either if you're on a lower ground, flattening ground will work, or you just hit terraforming lower ground level. And as long as you have a shovel on you, you're going to pack up in amounts of 60. So you'll see in a second it'll say you've collected 60 clay. And then if you look in your inventory, that's what it looks like right there. So I'm going to pack up with as much clay as possible and teleport myself back to the town. And once I do that, okay, you need at least 60 stones of clay substance in your inventory to do that. Oh, I was actually going to flatten down, so I was going to bring that back up. So I'm going to go ahead and do this again and do lower ground, and we should be good. Now, if you do happen to pick up, there's a little bit of dirt right to the right of me, right here. You want to make sure to go ahead and just drop that off, because you want as much clay as possible on these clay runs, because I did swim all the way here, so you want to make it, you know, as effective as possible. Now, clay and ore and all that stuff, it goes in your inventory, but you can't move it, say, from your inventory into a barrel or a bag yet. That might be something that they implement, but for now, what you'd have to do is go back to your camp, and unless you're going to put it directly in a furnace or a kiln, for example, with clay, you actually are able to go back to your island and just drop it on the ground with a shovel. So just like I lowered ground there, you'd go to your inventory, you'd click on these guys, and you just keep double clicking and we'll drop it off. So this was a nice group right here. And then look at me, I was about to run all the way back. So I'm going to go ahead and just press the number 7 button, pray, and head back to the island. I will see you guys when I drop down from the sky. Alright, I have fallen through the sky, I've landed by my hut, and we are back at the furnace. It's about time, it's time to go ahead and fill this guy up. So hit your eye, move your inventory, because it always seems to be behind whatever we need. And one thing you can do, this works most of the time. So even though I have 240 here, if I just drag it over and let go, it says, you cannot take that, you were overburdened. Why not? I'm trying to put stuff over here. Ah, there we go. Strange. So I don't know what just happened. This is why I don't like to do that, is because remember I had 240, now I only have 100 over here and 40 over here. So I just mysteriously lost 100 clay. That's not a good idea. What I like to do is hit shift, click, break out the amount of whatever the building material needs. So I would say I would split 100 from that 240 and then move the 100 over. So hopefully when I close this, reopen it, I might gain that 100 clay back, but it's very possible that it just disappeared. But now that you have 100 clay here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my 10 fiber and my 5 water, which I have over in this bag over here. So let's go ahead and click on this bag. Click on it, we're going to open this up, and unfortunately we lost that clay. So for example, I'm going to grab my 10 fiber, because I don't want to waste any more like that. And there we have it. Let's grab 10. Let's put the 10 over here. And then the water, I don't remember what it was, 5, 6, so let's go ahead and just take 5 for now. If we need more, we'll just hop right back over. And as you can see, the clay does not place on a dropped object like this. So let's go ahead and head back. Come up here, click on the furnace. Now we're going to go create again, of course. So unfortunately, we did lose all that. So we're going to put 5 water here, 10 fiber here. Now that you have all the materials in here, you're going to click build. Now the furnace, you don't actually need the hammer. It's not like a construction item, because it's under the whatever the construction materials prep. So you can just use your hand, and he's molding it with his hands now. He's building the furnace, and almost voila. If you see this and you're going, what happened? What happened is that he constructed most of everything there, like 175, so 5, yeah. So there's just 3 little guys left. We're going to go ahead and build it. We're going to go through the process again. After this is done, we will have a completed furnace. Now, what I was going to do was pile all that extra clay in a pile next to my ore pile and copper pile. So there's our furnace. It is now complete. Right up here you can see here's a pile of the copper. Remember, I had about 170-ish. Here's a little tiny pile of the iron. And then right next to that over here, I was going to go ahead, and all you got to do is have your shovel equipped, hit your I key, and just double click. The reason why I say double click is because your default is pour on ground. So when you double click, you will drop 30 of it or 40 of it at a time. I forget clay is more of like a pile of 60. So the sun's coming out. It's a little bit easier to see, but here's our clay, here's our iron, and here's our copper. Now that we have our furnace finished, you can go smelt, and you can use bellows, which is pointless because he's going to mess with it, but there's nothing in there to move up at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and manage smelting building. This brings up your furnace menu. Here's where you have that inventory of 100. You're probably here going light on, light on, light on. Why doesn't it work? What's going wrong? Well, you need some substance to fire this bad boy up. And to do that, you need either the charcoal or the billets. Now, billets, I think I'm running short on. I only have 1 billet here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this one in here for now. I'm going to go, I need my saw to get more billets. So remember, from a dropped object like a bag, you can't directly drag this over here to your pickaxe. What you have to do is go to your inventory. Then from your inventory, you can drag it on, okay? There you have that. I'm going to go ahead and equip my saw. I did see an extra log right up here already cut down from probably our previous venture of building our hut. So I'm going to saw out billets. I'm going to saw out maybe probably a good 8 or 9 of them, as many as I can actually get out of this, because I like to do a ratio of 60 ore. Ooh, I only got 2 little billets. 60 ore to 4 billets, because I will explain that shortly, as soon as I get it all in there, because I don't want to just talk about it. I want to actually show you while I talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead and dig up this iron and copper. So there's 30 copper. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab an abundance of it, 60 of it, but I do want to put the iron and the copper in at the same time so we can really compare how these work. Unfortunately, with the iron, I don't believe I have a full stack of 30. I have maybe 18 or so. So the nice thing is it will separate it out. It'll grab all the iron, which was 21. Okay, a little bit more than I thought. That'll be nice. And then the clay we don't need, so I'm just going to keep that there. Go ahead and run over here. Let's see, this guy right here. Sorry, you're going to have to chop down. I do have my axe on me, so let's cut this guy down. And then remember that little tip of check the quality of the tree. If it's a high quality tree, you're going to want to grab the sprouts off of it before you go cutting it down. These I've all checked. These are a little bit lower quality, so I don't mind just chopping them right down, but just keep that in mind. Oop, the sun is coming out. I can see it beaming off the mountain. Alright, after this one I'm going to hit the escape key so he stops doing the automatic work over and over and over again. We're going to go up to our furnace, left click on it because that's manage smelting building, and we're going to pull our inventory over here and go, let's go with, throw these together, split 1, put 4 in. Now remember, I want to put 60 of these guys in, and then I'm going to split 1 iron off of this, so then we have 20. That's not right. See how it's already maxed out at 100? Got to get 20 of these off. Boop. Split 20 out, put the 20 over here, put the 20 back here. Now, what I want to do here is go ahead for testing purposes, split this into 20. So what I want to compare is the 20 iron versus the 20 copper. Now this copper is going to burn as well, just right off to the side. Now if you try to put anything else in, you're going to go, oh, why can't it do it? And it says you can't place that here. There's no more room. Try to push as much more in there as you want. It's just not going to happen. So light on. Now you'll see this little temperature gauge right here. It just went to 500. That's not going to cut it for you. So you want to use the bellows. That's going to bump it up a little more. Use the bellows again, bump it up again. You do this all the way until it doesn't go up anymore. Now a furnace taps out at 1500, so I can use the bellows again. It's not going to go anywhere. Now you notice when I first light it up, it kills a billet. So make sure you have extra billets ready to go, because the billets will be getting used up as this cooks, okay? So now the fact that I only have one little billet here, while this starts cooking, I'm going to go ahead back over to one of these trees and get to work and start sawing out more billets. So it's a good idea to go chop down a few trees, maybe carry them over, stack them up next to your furnace or bloomery if you're advanced and have one of those. And so you can just be cooking your ore, chopping your billets, cooking your ore, chopping your billets, and just filling that fire full of this stuff. Now again, once you get that kiln going, you can put these billets in the kiln, cook your billets actually into charcoal. Now you don't actually get charcoal out of the furnace and forge and anvil and all that, unfortunately. So every minute or two you can come up to this guy and go use bellows, even if this hasn't dropped down, and now you see a little progress bar, progress bar, progress bar. You're going to wait for that to fill up all the way, and then you're going to be able to melt the materials into either ingots, bars, or lumps. Now, what do you do with those different things? Well, you're going to make tools out of them, better tools. You're going to make better buildings out of them. So once you kind of place a building, it will tell you what you need. Either you're going to need common or you're going to need a specific thing like iron or copper. So right now all you need to know is how do you actually turn this ore into those items. Of course, ingots, for example, you get 1 ingot per 20 ore. Depends on what you want and what you need. So ingots are harder to come by. That's why it gets so important when you get a bloomery where you can fit 400 in this thing. So where you can actually fit 350 ore in instead of this little 60 amount. Now, I like 60 to 4 ratio because each of these weigh 10, right? So right now you can see now it's 90 out of 100. Throw this softwood billet over here, now it's 100 again. And you want to keep maintaining this billow. So you can't really just throw this in here and go walk away for 30 minutes and come back and check if it's done. If your heat falls out, or if you run out of billets, it goes cold and you got to start the process all the way over again. So I like 4 billets because that gives me enough time to go chop more billets, maybe do a little bit of farming, get a lot of other things done, but kind of close so I can keep an eye on it, because no one wants to really just sit here and watch this go. Now, if you want to get more ore, more power to you. I would say you could put 80 ore in and just 2 billets, but you're going to have to make sure you keep up with those billets, or when it runs out, like I said, you're done. Now, again, every minute or so you can go ahead and use the billets, even if you're at 1500, and it will increase the progress bar. However, it will burn out your billets faster. So then it's kind of like between, well, do you have a lot of billets on hand to speed up the ore making process, or do you want to just throw the billets in as needed and take a little bit more time to get it to cook? So actually now it's looking like everything's cooking at the same rate. So maybe this iron does cook at about the same rate as copper. However, the nice thing with the bloomery, when you get that up, when you're cooking at 2000 degrees, you are going to both be killing through billets faster, and you're going to be cooking up your ore faster. So bloomery is the way to go as soon as you can get it. So we could do some things like digging up stumps or cutting more trees, which is what I'm going to do, because you always need more billets, you always need more planks, you always need more construction logs. So I'm a big multitasker with this game because I like to, make the most of my time here and get multiple things going at once. So got another tree down. It's going to be hardwood here, so I'm going to saw out some more billets. And I'm going to drop these in a bag just right next to the furnace so I can just sit there and kind of keep working on that. When you go back to the main village, you'll actually notice this is why I have 3 furnaces right next to each other. That's another way you can make things go faster, is you can manage all 3 furnaces at the same time and get a lot more ore built in a short amount of time. So if you have access to the clay and you have all the extra grass fibers and all the whatever billets or whatever it took to make the furnace, it's a good idea to go ahead and make multiples and get that going. So here we go, our furnace is still cooking. I don't want to leave it too long, so let's go back, check on it, manage smelting building, and give it a little cook. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use bellows. Boom, our progress bars go up a little tiny bit, and we have room for 1 more billet. Boom. You can go ahead and stack them if you want. Notice the hardwood and softwood billets you can't stack. It's a different kind of wood. There you have it. These bars are going up a little bit. Now, you will see when I get to the point that it might look like the progress bar is done. If you go to melt early, it's just going to say you cannot smelt anything useful out of that. So we still have a little bit of time. What I am missing on my person, though, is I've got to get that crucible and stick, because that's the worst thing that can happen is you going over here, the stuff's ready to melt, and you don't have the right tool on you. So make sure you get this guy and throw him on here. So do I want to go with the axe? Oh, I didn't listen to my own advice. I was thinking this was my inventory. Put that in your inventory. And close out the bag if you'd like. Then put this on, let's say, we'll put this on the axe for now because I already have a tree chopped down. So if I need to go get some emergency billets, I've got the saw, and the saw is what you need to actually get the boards and billets. The axe is only going to get the tree to the ground. So now this is going a little bit more. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, let's hit use bellows, see if we can get a little bit more. Boom! That was a nice little jump. We've got our crucible and stick ready, so now it's a matter of just waiting. And what else can we do while we wait? All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. You can go over here. We could probably go ahead and go nature's lore. You can search for some herbs. Searching for herbs you need a sickle, I thought, but it's letting me do it now without the sickle. Actually, I know what happens. So if you search for herbs, these little plants, which will be another episode, but these little plants show up. Now, it's easier if I go into first person. You can right click on this and say gather herbs. That's where you need the sickle. So even though it lets you search for the herbs, you're going to need the sickle on your body as one of the tools to actually be able to harvest the herbs. What else are we going to talk about in the future? This is just a good opportunity for me to talk about other things. You can gather wild plants, same thing. You need a sickle. So that will be the sickle episode where we talk about farming and herbalist. And man, being an herbalist is a job on its own, but you can get what's called flux, which is what you need for steel. And that's gold in this game. If you can get flux, you can go do some serious trading and get some good things. So herbalism is a great profession. One thing that is good to do is you always need more plant fiber, and you can always search for something edible. If you haven't found an apple tree yet or anything like that, make use of this time and get things done. So, good times. Another good thing that you could do is go clear up some stumps, go flatten some ground, kind of plan things out a little bit more. I did get a hammer on me, so now I could go over here, now that I have my hammer, and start fencing in my house. So I want to do construction, I want to get this wattle fence, and I want to go ahead and then just place it right there. I like that. It's just going to be on that right side, and I'll build a little wall out. So we'll talk about major construction in future episodes, but again, I just like to try to show you what you can do while you're working on your furnace without going too far away. So as soon as this is done, I'm going to check on the furnace, we'll come back over and we'll talk a little bit more about the wattle fence, about how to get our construction up. So just building this initial wattle fence here, it's not finished. It may look like it's finished, but you click on it and it needs 10 sticks. So after we go check on the furnace, let's go see if I've got 10 little branches ready to go. Alright, this is cooking up. It's almost about halfway. I'm going to use bellows, see if we can get another little bump. Yes, we can. We're down to 90, so I'm going to go ahead and throw on another billet. So we're safe here to walk away for a little bit. Let's go look in my bag. In my bag, I have 4 branches. 4 of them. Okay, so let's go up here. Whoa, got a little bit stuck on that wall. Here we go, let's climb up here. Right click, snap a branch. We're going to do this, 6 times. Head back over to the fence, and boom shakalaka, build that thing up. Alright, there we have it. We have our 10 sticks. I'm going to head on over here, finish off this little wattle fence, construct, inventory, throw over 6, throw over 4. Doesn't matter if they're stacked on top of each other as long as you got the 10 in there. We use our hammer. Remember, make sure you have the hammer for these construction items. And we will get this on our way. The primitive stuff, I always get confused between the axe and hammer. They're very similar looking, so you always got to kind of mouse over it, wait for a few seconds to actually get it to pop up and show you what's going on. There we have it. Clicky, clicky, clicky. It's starting to work. This little hand symbol shows you what actual tool is being used at the moment, and you'll see this finish all the way up. And boom, it's finished. Our construction increased by 8 points, our forestry went up, our agility went up, and time to check on the furnace. Left click, default action. Alright, we got billets, we got 4, we got all this. It went up a little bit, but we're getting there, maybe about 60% of the way. But now you can see our construction has gone up a little bit. Now it's up to 8. The more we get this construction up, the more construction items are going to show up. So you might originally unlock construction and you go, really? This is all I can build? Trust me. No, no, no. Once you hit those milestones of 30 and 60, 90, and you get all the way up to 100, you get all kinds of cool new options. So we're going to keep building this out. I'm going to keep getting more branches. And yeah, this will be our little construction project. So like I said, it's always fun to have another little project going on around your furnace. You don't have to just sit right there. You can kind of multitask. If you want to just hang out by your furnace, cook it up, you know, find some herbs, do what you do, be my guest. But I like to get a few things done at once. Wow, look at that. It's a nice sunny day. It'd be a good day to farm. If you guys do farming, it does make a difference if it's a nice overcast day or if it's a nice sunny day. Your crops do seem to grow faster and better and all that good stuff. So alright, we know we're going to need a few of these, so I'm going to go ahead and place this out. What I like about this is it's good to go ahead and plan your area out, put down a few little structures, and then you can actually go back, collect a bunch of materials, and build these all one at a time, get them all knocked out. It's all good times. I like to keep these episodes a little bit short, so I do like to skip through these things, but this is a one-on-one series, so I want to show you the process, and I want to give you guys a good idea of how long it really takes to do these things. I don't want it to just say, hey, drop your ore in, drop billets in, boom, me fast forward it, and all of a sudden you see it done, thinking, hey, it takes 30 seconds, when it's a process. It takes some time. It takes some time. So here we go. We're at about 70%. I'm going to go ahead and use billows, even though we only have the 3. Boom, that jumped us up. Now I'm going to go ahead and split one of these logs off, throw it on in here, back at 100. We're good to go. Right, something else we can do is these stumps. These stumps are a pain. You don't get anything out of them, but as you can see when I actually uproot it, you got to make sure you have a shovel. And you can see it takes a long time. This bar is slow, and I even have everything kind of bumped up for speed in this server. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting deal, but I have heard rumors of if you have, say, a few hundred stumps just laying around, if you got a big team working on it, these stumps do kind of add to the lag of the server. So it is good. Be kind, rewind, remove your stumps. Most of you don't even know what the whole rewinding means, man. Most of y'all don't even know. Alright. Let's see, we've got our fire cooking, we got our stumps up, we've got some wattle fences. I'll show you a cool little diagonal here. No, not right there. How about right here? We're going to go construction. Now we'll do a little wattle fence here with a little diagonal action. Now it wants to go the wrong way, so I'm going to flip it this way, say build, and we'll have a nice little angle. You know, I don't like to... everything's kind of squared off as far as the tiles, but that doesn't mean you have to square everything out. You can tilt everything, rotate it to the side. They give you some nice diagonal options on the fencing, on the stone walls, on the big palisade walls. It gets pretty cool, pretty into it. So eventually I will move this character into the village, so I won't always be so lonely living out here on my own. And the 101 series will move into the big town, so it'll be a little bit more interesting to look at, and there'll be a lot more to do. And then probably have some friends join in and show you guys what we're doing over there. Maybe some battles even. And of course, hit me up if you guys want to join in. If you're learning the game, if you're experienced with the game, we have all kinds of players, and we're always looking for more help. So you can actually even see the town from here. I kind of want to get these big tall trees here cut down. They're a little bit close and it gives it a little bit odd textured look, but the town looks really, really nice. I can even see the stone tower from here, so I can't wait to get the castle up. I mean, castles are in architecture which is beyond masonry, so there's a lot to this game. I've been playing it for a few weeks now, and there's still more new stuff every day I play, and the updates just keep coming. And I gotta admit, I've had a little bit of issues with crashing lately and things like that, but you go post properly in the bug reports and things like that, you'll get the developers answering you within a day. They're watching it, they're working on it. You may be a little bit frustrated with the crashes and the things that have been happened, but, you know, report it. Send in those reports. They are looking at them. I was actually talking with one of the devs today, and they're really quick to help you guys out, and I'm here to help you guys out as well. And yeah, here we go. See, if you go smelting melt, there's nothing you can do with it yet. This is where you might be at that point where you're going, wow, that looks pretty full. It looks really full. But if you zoom in and really look at that, there's a little tiny sliver left. Maybe I can pop it up there. Oh, that was close. Nope, not yet. So we got to just walk away. Give this guy maybe 2 minutes. Let's see, did I put anything in my house? Did I put like a bag or anything in here? These little huts you can't put any furniture in. However, they do still look pretty cool. But we're almost at the point of getting a small wooden house finished up. There's 3-story houses, there's plaster houses, there's long houses, and what you get with those is actual multiple rooms within the house. So you can have multiple people claiming them, multiple people living in them, you get furniture, you get all that kind of cool stuff. Really looking forward to get those up, but just as a hint, small wooden house, which is like the next step up from a hut, you need 200 building logs. 200 building logs. You need 3 doors, you need a bunch of windows. It takes a lot of work. You need steel, which requires forged anvil. So I'm still going to step by step bring you guys into this game, kind of show you all the tips to get started. But it's going to take a while. This is going to be a long series with a lot of stuff to talk about, which is fine by me. So let's melt. Nope, still nothing we can use out of this yet. So let's go ahead and make sure we're not going to run out of billets last second. I'm going to use bellows one more time. Oh, I saw it go up a little bit more. And here we have it. We have our iron ingots, we have our copper ingots. We did prove here that it does take the same amount of time for 20 iron ingots and 20 copper ingots, so there's not a speed difference. Now, if we were big money, we could be heading into the mountain and getting gold and iron, or gold and silver, and cooking that up as well. But we're not there. That's for well advanced when you're making crazy items and things like that. So remember, iron ingots we can't make as much, but I'm going to go ahead and make them up. I maybe am going to use some of these materials to trade to get myself a hut or a village, to be able to join the village. So that's a nice thing that you could do, is try to make materials out on your own and trade them with a village in the server. But of course, you should come join my server, and we're all friendly, we're all helping each other out. It is going to be opening up to the public without a password or anything like that soon, so we need more fighters as well, because we want to be able to protect ourselves. We have a nice village already established, we want to be able to protect it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit melt. Now it auto-melted that copper ingot, which remember we only had 20, so we only got the one. Now copper, I'm going to go with the bars. Now remember, we had 40 copper and only 20. So if I was to do copper ingots, I'd get 2. Now copper bars, I'm going to get a lot more on. Now crafting, the difference here is it's going to craft 1 and done. If you hit auto craft, it's going to keep crafting as much as possible. So Oh, warning, my smelting was not raised. Prereq skill level is too low. Now, I will show you what it's actually talking about. Now, my mining here is only at 56. Now, if I bump my mining up one more over 60, then I'd be able to get my smelting all the way up to 60. However, since it's below 60, my smelting is capped at 29. Now, as far as that's going to affect us now, it's not going to hurt us. I can still go in here, select more copper bars, and make these. However, silver and gold, I wouldn't actually be able to smelt yet until I get a higher level of smelting. Now you might ask, how do I know that? Well, I don't know everything that easily, so what I do is you go here, you click on your smelting, you go level 30, this is where you can smelt precious ores into lumps. Level 60, this is when you can make steel. Level 90 is when you can actually recycle metal tools and armor, and you can make this viscous steel, which is actually, you need the bloomery. For basic steel bars and steel ingots, you just need the forge and anvil, okay? And then 100, not implemented yet, but less waste while recycling metal and weapons and all that good stuff. So I don't really play around too much with the recycling. I mainly stick towards just being the main blacksmith who smelts all the things. I make a bunch of armor. I'm really psyched to show you some of the armor I've made recently I've made leather, scale, plate. I just made royal plate armor, which is really nice looking. So on my main character, I've got a nice new get up. So here you have it. This is done. Now I don't want to waste all these billets, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on this, extinguish it. There you have it. We've used the furnace. We now have bars. We now have ingots, and you could use these for trade items and things like that. The next thing I'm going to want to talk about next episode is actually getting your forge and anvil up, because when you get your forge and anvil up, that's when you're going to be able to start making the better tools and all that good stuff. I will see you guys next episode when we start actually working on our blacksmith skills. So hopefully this is going to be enough materials to get me in the village, and I will see you guys next time. As always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Feel free to visit my Facebook page, my YouTube page, all linked up above, and come join us. We're always looking for more people, and see you guys then. Thanks. Okay, I'm here. We're about to build a blacksmith, and I'm under attack, so I'm going to hide behind Sho here.
No.
That'll level your armor up.
Is that a practice sword?
Aha!
No,
Missed me.
I built me a real sword.
I left my sword in my hut. I got a shovel.
Let's see, in that case...
Was that you? I was hitting there?
No, you missed me and hit.
No, hit
Sho.
How much damage did I do to you? Let me look.
Let's see, I...
Alright, take him out. Take him out, Tech.
16 damage and I'm bleeding.
You gotta do one shot.
Don't create too much trouble now. This
Look
arrow
up.
will take you out.
Look up. Look up.
I'm blocking it.
Oh yeah,
I don't
good
think
luck
you're gonna be able to
blocking it.
block it.
Take a
I
shot.
can block it.
Are you sure? It might kill him.
I ain't worried about it.
Alright.
Do this.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
He only has
Because,
the anvil that we need to finish off this blacksmith.
Alright.
That and we're not in the same unit, so I don't want my points going down again.
Alright, Sho.
I think I might pass.
I'm
out
already
in the
at
next few
minus
seconds.
11.
Oh, hold on. Sho's gonna pass out.
Did I really hurt you?
Remember
that
last time I said that?
Uh-oh. Gotta do some healing.
Heal.
Mend wounds.
Heal.
I'm fading.
Heal.
You gotta mend wounds first to stop the bleeding.
As soon as your red,
I'm getting woozy.
your light red goes down all the way, you're done.
I'm getting real woozy.
I healed you enough. How you doing? Oh shit! Man, that sack is twice the size of you, dude. Jeez.
That collapse, the timing was perfect.
Oh,
It's like, dude, I healed you. I think you're good. I was wrong.
Did,
I
did you do
needed.
resuscitation?
I'm going to now. If I can click on him, his
Yeah,
bag is
I'm
too
trying to-
big.
I got a big bag. What can I
Wait,
say?
almost got it.
I'm gonna get a nice view from up top. All right, place the anvil. Oh, anyone bring a hammer?
I did, of course.
Yeah, tech. I don't know if you saw, but you can use your mallet to build stuff like a blacksmith hammer.
Better back up.
Oh, really?
Revenge.
One shot you. I'm gonna one shot you.
Yeah, you would. You would.
Man, what weapon is that? What do you got there, Sho? It's like a big machete, dude.
Yeah, I made it.
How's it? That
It's
guy
a
pronounced it?
falchion.
Falchion, yeah.
Here it goes.
Hammer. Whack. Alright, first blacksmith.
I like how you whack that wood.
Wham!
Oh, shit.
I love how that looks on the wall. I knew that would
Hey,
look
we can get on
sick.
the roof. That's
That
nice.
chimney is perfect right there next to the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do with some of these buildings. Just kind of line them up on the side.
Oh, it is perfect. Wow.
Nice. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Manage building. Screw you, blacksmith shop, with an inventory of 100.
No, wait. If you have a blacksmith
way.
hammer, what are your options with the blacksmith hammer? Because I see a sharpening tool in here.
I can manage it.
You manage it. It's got an inventory of 100. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Gotta be something else you can do here.
That's what I was
Alright,
saying.
life is
If
feudal.
you have the blackmith hammer, or actually,
Give
you
us
know
an
what,
update.
light it.
Maybe it
Light
works
I
faster.
have the blacksmith hammer.
Hang
Give
on,
us
hang
an
on.
update.
Get
Give
some
us
ore
an
in here,
update.
man. Let me cut some billets, man. We're gonna
Yeah,
check it out.
put something in there because you'll probably get some more options once you light it, just like the forge and anvil. Yeah, see, there you go. Forge weapons, metal tools,
Same shit as over there.
armor smithing.
It's just a forge and anvil.
It's
It's
the
just a
same thing.
fancy forge and anvil. What I was really just hoping for was a larger inventory, which we're not
Yeah.
getting. Well, good thing we built the Bloomery right over here, which I'll show off the Bloomery real quick. So you can see that at least the Bloomery, this little tiny guy right here, has an inventory of 400. Yet this huge stove over here, which I could probably cook my entire self in. Let me jump in here and cook myself. Only has a space for 100. But definitely looks cool. You can tell they're going to implement some good stuff. But I definitely think this looks good up against the wall compared
Ow.
It was Monty.
Right.
to Monty. I'll hit you with my shovel.
Alright, we gotta try something out in here. I need some iron. Is there some iron down that pit here?
Can't hit
And-
me.
I'm pretty sure I can.
Alright, hit me.
Alright, got some cool stuff here. Oh, no, I'll put it in this bag so you can snag it.
What's that?
Jehan, you around? Well, I'll put the chest plate on then. Where'd you guys go?
I'm bringing the log up.
What's it look like? Pretty cool.
Oh, that shit looks dope.
So you got the royal armor there?
Yep.
Alright, I'll come and take a look.
$99. Almost. Oh. You hit my arm thing.
I want them to start mining some of this copper out of here.
Yeah, it's probably the
Dude, like-
fastest bet.
One more hit. Maybe.
Nice.
No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
It just doesn't get old. Your guy didn't even lay down all the way. He's just like kind of crouched over and.
Resuscitation.
Huh, stuck at 99. Maybe all my other skills.
What's your one-handed or two-handed weapon?
Whoa. 100?
Nah, you should be able to get it up then.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe because my skills or whatever. Oh,
Jeez, dude.
there it is, 100.
There you go.